Howdy all, Lex Lives. I think it's time we play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright, I think I came in here for some food, right? And I did not find any food. There was no food in the kitchen. That is where I left off last time. It has been a long day. Pushing the wrong buttons here. It's it was crazy. So, so they're having a party for the 4th of July here, and so they've done little to prepare for it. I mean, it's not like this is a surprise party, right? I mean, they knew they were having it. They started getting, like, purchasing things for it, but did zero in the preparation factor. And so now it's getting down to the wire, and so they decide out of the blue that they have to have the floors finished. Well, not finished, but gotta have the floor tiles down that haven't been put down yet. Only now they're willing to help because, I mean, before this, nobody was willing to help. No one was willing to help me do a project that I didn't want to do in the first place. And so, Wednesday we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna start working on this, and you gotta help us do it because we don't know how to do it. And I'm like, well, I pretty much don't know what I'm doing myself and just make it up as I go, so I don't know what stops you from doing the same thing. But I'm like, all right, we can work on it. We should work on it tomorrow. I'm like, well, I have a job, and yeah, I don't want to work on it Thursday. I'll work on it on Friday though, because I can get more done on Thursday so that I have time on Friday. And so we start working on Friday, right? And just me and the other guy, whose party it is, and because if he wasn't here, we wouldn't have a party. And so the other guy being my brother-in-law. And so, oh man, I got too much stuff in the inventory. And so he gets all manic. Not really manic, not like need to see a psychiatrist kind of manic, but he gets all excited about stuff, and then it's like both feet in blind until it either happens or it doesn't, and it drives me crazy. And I'm more of a slow planner. Ooh, there's some food. And so, like, he decides he wants to go fishing. And so the day before he decides the day he decides he's got to go fishing is the day he rushes out to the store to buy all the supplies to go fishing, and then he goes fishing, that night. There's no like, oh yeah, all right, I can take these X amount of days off. I can plan with other people, and if I need some equipment, I can make sure all my equipment's ready. No, it's like leave huge, giant piles of mess, making sure all of his fishing equipment is ready to go. And whatever anybody else was trying to do, better get out of his way, because he's crazy, practically at this point about it, and it drives me crazy. So this is no different. So nothing up until Wednesday of last week, other than purchasing the occasional thing. And I think Thursday, when I told him I couldn't go or I couldn't work on it, is when he rushed off to get fireworks. And so he went and bought fireworks for the party. Now you'd think that knowing you were going to be doing this, that you might take advantage of the sales earlier in the year to prepare for your fireworks. But no, all the fireworks for the 4th of July party tomorrow were purchased last week. When they've got to be their most expensive, right? And oh, I thought I had room for that. Let's throw away animal hide. Don't need it. What is that? Oh. Why don't I read that? Then that doesn't have to be in my inventory. And, so we start working on all that. Only it's, he won't cut anything. He'll put it down, but he won't cut anything. And so I tear up most of the floor. I've been telling him forever now, because this is like a 3-year-old project at this point. It's been a struggle to get this done. First off, it was a nightmare to tear up the old floor. And so after I had tore out most of the old floor by myself, then my brother-in-law jumps in and tears a 10-foot section. I've already done like 70 feet of floor. He tears out a 10-foot section. That's the only help I've gotten on this project since it started. A project that I said we shouldn't do, we don't need to do. You people who are complaining that you occasionally stub your toe on the cracks in between the tiles, that it's grouted. It's not like there's holes or anything. It's just they scuff their feet when they walk. And that's why we had to do this, because they scuff their feet when they walk. They won't pick up their feet. And so occasionally their toe catches, and then they went and spend, thousands of dollars on materials and dumped them in the laundry room and are like, there you go, there's your project. Why is it my project? I didn't want to do it. I've repeatedly said, don't do this anymore. Don't. Do it yourself. They're already talking about, what's your next project after you finish this one? Nothing. I'm not doing any more projects. Well, the walls need to be painted. We've lived in this house for less than 10 years. The walls were fine when we moved in. They're still fine now. We do not need to paint the walls. Nobody uses those rooms practically. Nobody cares what walls look like. They're painted. They're fine. You don't need to change the white color. I don't understand your dislike for the color white on walls, but you need to stop, because the colors you pick are terrible, and nobody wants to look at your... I don't even know what color. This color. This brown color right here. This is what they painted our hallway with. This brown color. In fact, if you make these tiles gray, and you fill in the caulk so it's all black, that's what our floor looked like before. And so the problem is the people who put it in used a lot of grout underneath the tiles, and so it basically had to chisel it up with a scraper and a hammer, and it was horrible. It was horrible. It took me forever to get it up, and then my brother-in-law, he comes along and tears up one little section. He's like, "Oh, that wasn't so bad," and that's it. They helped me clean it up, and then they never touched it again. And so now they're all like, "Oh, we gotta have it done before this party." I'm like, "You guys have had several parties with. I've been telling you forever to what you need to do to help me, and nobody will even glance at it. So." Well, you just need to tell us what we need to do to help. I have, and let me tell you again, let me reiterate the things that I have already told you to do. 1, pound down the staples. I hate doing it. It's super tedious. It takes a long time. And I feel like it's something that any of you could do who are complaining that you're not skilled enough to actually do any of the work. No one touches the hammer. Uh, in fact, one of them asked what they could do, and I held out the hammer to them, and they just turned and walked away. So I really don't understand. I really don't understand. Why ask how to help if you won't do it? The other thing that's going to be great is that there's no trim now because they ruined all the trim. I had it. I've totally got off my story here, but I have remodeled many rooms over the years, and once you get all your tools and everything in place and you start taking down old stuff, if there's old stuff you want to keep, you make a nice pile out of it. You know, I marked things, I wrote where they go on them, all sorts of stuff like that. And I had them in places where I needed them to be so that I could continue the project. And then what happens? They come through and they move it all of it. Tools, trim boards, all of it. And so they actually parked a car on top of the trim for some reason. And I'm like, hey, you need to get that car off there. Oh, well, we're going to get new trim. I'm like, okay, all right. We'll just get some new trim and stain it. I'm like, okay. So I don't know what their plan is at this point. They've ruined the old trim. They haven't got new trim. But they're telling me I need to get the trim in place. I'm like, I can't do that. You've ruined it. You said you wanted to stain it a different color, and then you said you wanted to get new trim, and you've done none of that. So I don't know where I'm supposed to magically make this stuff appear from, because I'm not going to go get it. This is your project. You have to do the work. I mean, I've already done most of the work, but you have to do some of the work. And, so yeah. Anyways, so all gung-ho about getting this stuff done. And so I tear up 3/4 of what's left of the floor. In that time, my brother-in-law tears up one piece. He takes about 7 breaks while I'm working on the other part. I carry all pretty much of the stuff out of the kitchen, except for the linoleum. We made the 8-year-old nephew carry out the chunks of linoleum from the kitchen, because we redid the kitchen and the hallway and another hallway and a landing at the bottom of some stairs and all sorts of stuff. And so I thought this was going to be another town here somewhere, but I'm basically just taking a drive around this lake, it feels like. And so then he's like, alright, so we gotta... I can't put down the tiles that need to be cut. I can only put down the whole tiles, because I shouldn't go anywhere near a knife. Not that he even attempts it, you understand. So I measure, I cut, I measure, I cut. But he keeps taking breaks. He keeps leaving the room to go someplace else. And so once they're measured and cut, I gotta have the next parts in place to know where the next cuts need to go. And so I'm like, well, it's really hot. So you know what? I'm just going to go sit in the air conditioner. He didn't want to work on it. I don't care. And it's not my project. And so so that was Friday. So Friday we got most of the kitchen finished. That's a interesting looking building. And then Saturday I cut the rest of the pieces we needed for the kitchen, and some of the pieces for the hallway, because we had the kitchen, a hallway, and the landing at the bottom of some stairs to go. Oh, you're still alive. And so uh, so he had to put down some new tape. The tiles we're putting down are pre-taped, and so you just have to put down the tile, tear the covers off the tape that's attached to the tile, and then lay the next tiles down on that tape. So it's pretty easy to do once you get going, but you do have to stop and cut everything. You know, I heard there were still bunkers, but man, I haven't seen a bunker in a while. I don't know what the buildings look like anymore that they go with. There used to be like one of these sheds with a fence around it, and that's how you knew where the bunkers were at. But man, they're not like that anymore. And so he was even worse on Saturday. Just vanished. Never came back. Wandered off doing other stuff. And then, on top of that, he there it is. He decided that he had to go to the movies. And so about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we had barely done anything because he had vanished most of the afternoon. And then he went to the movies. He left and went out to eat and go to the movies. I'm like, okay. Well, So then he's like, I can't believe we didn't get this done yet. We need to do more. We need to get more done. I'm like, yeah, well, you keep going on breaks and going to the movies. If you want to do this, then you need to buckle down and just be here to do it. And so Sunday was the same thing. Actually Sunday, now my sister also has talked about how this is actually her project. But she has done none of the work. She helped clean up once. And and so when we started working on it again, she left the house. She, quote, let her work password expire, and she could only reset it from work. And so she had to go into work on Sunday on her day off because she had to reset her work password because, I don't know, she does paperwork, and I don't understand why she doesn't do it at work because she says they give you time at work to do it, but she apparently doesn't do it at work. Yeah, so she left, and then we ran out of tape, and so we quit because, I don't know, her husband couldn't drive into town to get tape. I wasn't doing it. Not my project. Sorry. Not my idea. I'm not doing even more work for something I didn't want to do in the first place. And so she brought home tape, but by that point it was too late to work anymore, I guess, because he didn't come back to work. They went upstairs and never came back. So I'm like, all right, I guess we're done. They didn't say anything to me, but I guess we're done. So then he's like, all right, so maybe we can finish this on Monday. And I'm thinking, oh, I work on Monday though. You're gonna make my work take longer. Fine though. I want to get it done, and I mean, I didn't want to do it in the first place, but now that I'm doing it, I want to get it done, be done with it. And if you're willing to help, I'd rather have help than have to do it by myself. So I guess I will postpone my work day for this. And so now this party is not a surprise in the least bit. He knows he's had all this stuff he needed to get done, like clean the downstairs, the first floor, get all the yard work done, uh, clean the pool so they can go swimming at the party, uh, you know, stuff like that. And stuff that's not a surprise, stuff you knew was coming, stuff that I don't understand why you didn't already have done at this point, since the party's tomorrow. And so, oh, clean out the garage, because the garage is an absolute disaster. Uh, and it's their disaster, too. It's not like this is, oh man, no, this is, oh, we're going to park the go-kart inside the garage by the house and then let the fuel run out onto the floor, and then in our genius to clean it up, we're going to dump a bag of potting soil on it and then just leave it there, because that's how you clean up messes. And so yeah, so that's been there for over a month, and they just got around to cleaning it up. Nobody puts cars in the garage at this point because they've made such a mess out of the garage that nobody can get their vehicles in the garage. And yeah, they drive me crazy. They are, combined with my fairly complete introversion when it comes to desire to be with people. They just always, every day, reinforce why I don't like to hang out with people. I just oh, I, was it yesterday? It must have been yesterday. For whatever reason, they told their 5-year-old to clean the shoes. Not clean the shoes, but they just make piles when they take off their shoes, and so I don't understand why. I put my shoes away. Unfortunately, we all share the same shoe space, so every time I go to get my shoes, my shoes are never together, and they're never where I left them. It's crazy. All right, I want to go southeast. I think is the direction here. And so they decided they were going to pull all the shoes out and then put the shoes back in nice order. Well, the 5-year-old was supposed to. Obviously the 5-year-old is just like they are, so her idea of being told to do a job is to do maybe 2 shoes that don't match and then wander off because she doesn't have to do what she's told. And so the other guy, not my brother-in-law, but the other guy lives here, he's told to take care of the shoes, and so he does, and then I'm not paying any attention to what's going on because I'm working on that stupid floor, and then he comes up to me and he's like, "After dinner, I need to ask you a question in the laundry room." I'm like, "Okay." I have no idea. I'm like, does he need privacy to ask me a question? What is he asking me? It's weird. And he goes, I just wanted to know which pair of shoes were yours. I'm like, what? He's like, well, you've got 2 pairs of black shoes. Do I not have bullets in my gun? And I was wondering which pair of black shoes you wanted. I'm like, I'm not allowed to keep my shoes now? He's like, no, you can keep your shoes. I just put them away, and I wanted to know which pair was the pair you wanted. I'm like, just put my 3 pairs of shoes that's in there with everybody else's 20 pairs of shoes. Just put them together. They're my shoes. Just stack them right on top of each other. I'll know which pair I want to wear. What kind of question is that? Did you ask anybody else? You didn't ask anybody else what pair of shoes they wanted to wear. Why do I need to be asked what pair of shoes? Like, I seriously thought they were going to throw my shoes away. They're insane when it comes to me having any space at all in things like the shoe department area, or where we hang our coats, or anything like that. Just, whoa. Ooh, you know what? I need a shopping basket. I need a shopping basket bad. This place might have one. Are you a shopping basket? No. Although I can take that. Hey, I'm looking at shopping baskets, lady. Get your own. Okay, listen, construction guy. Oh, come on, lady. I just want a basket. Why they always gotta fall with their head into the wall so that you can't get to them? I just need a shopping basket. Just a shopping basket. No? No shopping baskets? I think the last one I got I found in the corner of a tiny store. But you'd think that they'd have them here, right? You'd think that that would be it right there. Oh, there's one right there. I can't pick it up though because I got too much stuff. I'm gonna throw out these blood bags. I just came in here for a shopping basket. Yay! Yeah, I'll keep that on me. Why do I even have clay? That's just weird. I don't need animal hides. Actually, I could use that right now. But yeah, so today, I guess to finish off my story, I think I'm gonna head home now and dump some of this off and work on making some more bullets for my sniper rifle. And so, and then I'll come back here probably to do some more looting. So, so yeah, so today I get up and the power goes out because, you know, sunny day, no wind, anything like that is obviously the worst time of the year for the power. And they shut down one of their substations to work on it, it said, and when they did that, they weren't prepared for the draw that was placed on the power grid in the area. And so all the power went out for a couple hours. And so I thought, well, this is a great opportunity to go ahead and get to work on that floor. And so I cut a whole bunch of tiles because we were at a spot where I could cut like 8 or 9 of the tiles all at once. And so got all those cut, and then I had to go find my brother-in-law because I'm not doing this by myself. And so he was standing around on his phone. Okay, I just need to go north from here, I guess. And oh, I am headed north. And so, because that's what he does all day. He just stands there and surfs the internet on his phone. And so he's like, "Oh, are you working on the floor?" I'm like, "Yeah, and I need you to start putting tiles down." And so he does, and then I can take some more measurements. I cut some more tiles. Come on, bike, go up the hill. And so he finally, every time I get finished cutting tiles, I gotta go find him. And he claims to be working on the garage, but almost every time I go out there, he's either letting off firecrackers or, oh wolf, surfing the internet on his phone. And so it probably could have gone faster, but probably took us about 4.5 hours to finish today. But all the tiles are down, so I'm done with that. All that's left now is to put down trim, and then my mother's like, "Next we got to paint the living room and the kitchen. I really want to get that done, lady. You are crazy. You at this point can't help anybody do any kind of manual labor like that. So all you're doing is looking for projects for me who already works. If you grabbed one of the other two or some of the kids who don't actually do anything all day, it would be different. But it's not. You want me to continually be doing these stupid remodeling projects, and we don't need to do them. Nobody cares that the walls in the living room are white. Nobody. Nobody cares that the walls in the kitchen/dining room have some wallpaper on them. Nobody cares. Nobody looks at it. I almost... If I hadn't have just looked, I couldn't have told you what the walls in our dining room looks like. And I sit in there almost every day while I eat my dinner, and almost no one who would even think to look at the walls uses the living room. She doesn't use the living room. We don't have people over except for the occasional random, oh, we gotta have a party right now, which is like maybe twice a year. And so I'm pretty sure the people who are coming over tomorrow aren't going to care that our living room walls are white. If you don't like them, hang some pictures on them. But there's no reason to paint the whole room. That's a lot of work for something that nobody wants to do and nobody cares about. Yeah. So, yeah, I didn't get started with work till almost 4 o'clock this afternoon. Which means my gaming group, which I join every Monday night, has been gaming without me for... Ooh, this is going to be interesting. There's a lake, it looks like. Okay, I need to peel off to the right here a little bit. But they've been gaming without me for over 2... whoa, did you see that fire chase me? Aw, man. I just want you to get around through here. But for a couple hours now, they've been gaming without me. I told them just to go ahead and go without me, and then I would join them when I could get a chance. But hey, actually, we're gonna go play some 7 Days to Die on the server. I believe that's what they're doing right now. So. I will get an entire evening of 7 Days to Die. And with that, I'm going to call it. So click like, subscribe, share, and catch the next one. I will talk to you later.